Hi everybody, my name is Juliana Mayfield and I naturally have oily skin, but I have for a while now, maybe a couple of years, have wanted to have that radiant, glowing makeup routine that I see a lot of other women do. I remember being in a movie theater one time and I was with my friend and I saw this woman walk in and I could not stop staring at her. She was so beautiful and she had the most radiant, glowing skin, and I knew she was wearing makeup, but it just looked like her skin was just so healthy and beautiful, and I was like, I totally want that look. But because I had oily skin, I had very little hope of it actually happening. But I found a technique, so I'm sharing it here. So I am starting off with a primer, which is called Strobe Cream, and it's actually created to enhance the effects of light on from like sunlight to spotlight, and it's just created to add light to the skin. Then I followed up with color correction because I want to cover any dark spots on my face. Then I'm going to use this Glow Serum by Denessa Myrick and mix that with my foundation and apply that directly to my face. So the way that I do it is I like to use kind of layers, and I am going to apply like creamy, radiant products on the skin first, like as my foundation. Then I'm going to use matte powders because that's what's going to help my oily skin and keep everything in place. And then I'm going to finish it off with other luminous and radiant products on top of that powder. And therefore I can get that radiant, luminous glow without it competing with my oily skin. So after I apply my foundation, I'm going to use this glow stick. It is a cream bronzer, but the color is very light on my deep skin tone, so I can use it as a highlighter. But it is a very creamy bronzer, and I'm putting this underneath my eye just as a light highlighter. Now I'm using a cream concealer. And this cream concealer has some sort of serum or something in it that has a radiant glow, and that's why I wanted it, is because it creates a shiny, radiant effect on the skin, so that when I apply the powders a little later, these products will kind of shine through, just because they are designed to react with light. But if I use something that didn't react with light underneath the powders, it would look like I have just a matte skin tone. But I don't want that. I want a very radiant skin, so I'm using cream products all over, but then I'll set it later.
I got high hopes. Do you want the same? Cause baby, all I got is high hopes. Do you feel the same? Do you want me, babe? Or is it just a game?
Now I'm just going to add a little bit of that contour underneath my eyes, and whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to apply it to the socket of my eyelid, and this is just kind of creating a little bit of a shape with my eyes because I'm not going to apply eyeshadow with this look.
Maybe I'm crazy, but something in my mind tells me it's easy.
Next, to kind of set it and forget it, I'm applying some setting spray and then using a little fan that I got off of Amazon to dry the setting spray really quickly so that I can move on to applying powder. Now in the center of my face, I'm using a Ben Nye powder, and Ben Nye powders are used mostly for people on stage, so it's a very heavy powder, and I've been using this for years because I wanted to combat my oiliness when it came to my makeup application. And because the areas where I get the most oily are pretty much the center of my face, that's why I use the Ben Nye powder there. But on the rest of my face, I'm going to use a Mary Kay translucent powder, and that's going to be good enough to set the rest of my skin. So I don't have to use such strong powders there, but I do use a translucent powder, and this is really supposed to combat the oils, and it does. Now I'm going to take a break from the skin and fill in my brows, just on any of the areas that have sparse hair. I'm going to use this black brown pencil to fill in the area, and then I'm going to use a spoolie brush to go over that, and that will just help to blend out the pencil so that it doesn't look like pencil marks in my brow. Then I'm going to use this volumizing brow tint just to kind of give the hairs a little bit of fullness so that it doesn't look like there are pencil marks on my face or that my brows have been drawn on. So here's where I'm going to add an extra oomph to the radiance, and I'm going to use this cream bronzer duo stick in bronze and shimmer, and I'm going to use the shimmer part of it, and I'm going to apply this around my forehead and along my cheekbones, kind of in the bronzing area, and then use a cheek brush in circular motions to blend it out. Because it's a cream bronzing stick, it's designed to go on top of makeup, so I don't have to set it with any additional powders or anything like that to make sure that it doesn't move or that my oils won't come and attack it or anything like that. It pretty much goes on and stays in place throughout the day. So not only is this giving me a little bit of warmth on my skin, but you can see as I turn my face that the light is kind of bouncing off of my skin now even more, and I love that. I love that it's adding shimmer without glitter and radiance without oil. Now I'm going to go back to the original cream bronzer that I used and underneath my eyes as a highlighter, and I'm going to use the shimmer part of it on the tops of my cheekbones, on the top of my lips, and on my chin, and then blend that out in kind of a circular motion and blend it kind of into the bronzer that I have on my skin. And this is what's going to act as a little bit of a highlight and really allow the light to bounce off of the top of my cheekbones naturally, and my chin and my lip. And after that's done, I add some mascara and some lip gloss off camera, and this is the end result. It lasted 4 hours and I didn't have to touch up or do anything. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, what I really loved about this look is how young I looked. I was like, oh my gosh, I looked like I did when I was in college, and I love that my skin looked very healthy and radiant and youthful, but not looking like it had a lot of makeup on. And so I definitely think that this is a routine I'm going to take into the future. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye guys.